Hi and welcome to Buddy Power, and if you're a new member, and I know we have a great many just recently, then welcome, and I really do hope that you join up and you join in the discussions and you enjoy being a member of Buddy Power. You enjoy being a buddy, in fact. We're glad to have you. I just want to say from the outset, actually, to anyone new, just in case you've got the wrong idea, that Buddy Power is not just about gastric band and gastric bypass surgery. We've got a great many members who have had surgery and they discuss it a lot on our chat rooms and forums, and that's great. And very often some of the experts who do our web chats are experts in the field of weight loss surgery. But we're not just about that at all. We are about your own personal journey to try and do something about your weight, or maybe the weight of a loved one or a family member. We're about the fact that there is no one way to lose weight. There are a lot of diet Nazis, they call them around, diet fascists, people who want to tell you how to lose weight their way and will bully you and will actually deride all of your efforts if you're not trying to lose weight their way. Just look at what's happened to Fern Britton. It's amazing the so-called experts who come out of the woodwork and say she's done it wrong. For heaven's sake, she's done well, hasn't she? She's lost an awful lot of weight. She's much healthier than she was. In fact, she's done herself and her whole family one huge favour, and I applaud her. Okay, the way she did it is controversial. The way I did it is controversial. But that's great. We should all be talking about that sort of thing, comparing and contrasting the way we consider is the best way to lose weight. Because I'm very firmly of the opinion, aren't you, that there probably is no one way for everybody. There probably are as many different ways of losing weight as there were to put the weight on in the first place. In fact, it was quite interesting. Last week I was asked to present a special report for The One Show on the BBC about gastric banding surgery, and I was happy to do that. You can see it again if you want on BBC iPlayer just for the next few days. I've got a little clip of it here in case you want a taster. Like me, presenter Fern Britton hit the headlines when she admitted having gastric band surgery in a bid to lose weight. After all the vicious headlines and nasty comments that came my way following my weight loss operation, who could possibly blame Fern Britton for wanting to keep her gastric band a secret? And yet some of the press are calling her a cheat, a liar. They're saying she's taken an easy way out, a quick fix. But gastric banding is anything but an easy option. Since my operation, I've learned a lot more about obesity surgery. I've found that some patients lose weight only to put it all back on again. They can become disillusioned or lose their love of food. But if obesity is threatening your life, a gastric band may still be the best solution. Back in 2005, Jane Davey from Sheffield was morbidly obese, weighing in at 28 stone. She faced a stark choice.
I was dying. The doctor said to me, if I don't do something, then I wouldn't see my 50th birthday.
She chose gastric band surgery, her experience chronicled in a BBC documentary.
It's all systems go. I've got about an hour and a half before we go down to theatres, so it's... But we'll see you on the other side.
For Jane, the operation was a success. Since 2005, she's lost 15 stone, transforming her life for the better. Look at you now. The gastric band has done that for you. It's actually saved your life.
Definitely, definitely. I've got my confidence back with my body image sufficient to do a charity calendar. And I'm Miss January.
A nude?
Virtually nude.
Really? Jane feels that without her gastric band, her weight would pile on again.
I'd eat again. Huge meals, stuff in my face, and I'd probably go back to even being heavier than what I was.
Around 6,000 men and women go for gastric band operations each year. Privately, they can cost as much as £7,000. This is a gastric band. It's the ultimate portion controller. It goes around your stomach and restricts the amount of food you can eat.
So this is the band. We tunnel it around the back of the stomach so that it's around the stomach itself.
Shaw Summers is one of the country's leading gastric band surgeons. Despite having many satisfied patients, he's all too aware such procedures are not for everyone.
People spend more time choosing a washing machine or a car than they would do their own obesity surgery. A band is probably best for someone who overeats volume food. In other words, they have too much breakfast, lunch and dinner, but doesn't snack in between.
If you're into that sort of nibbling and chocolate and ice cream, it's probably not the right procedure.
It's the tool to help them lose weight the hard way. They will still have to diet, they will still have to exercise.
Jenny Skelton had a gastric band fitted in the hope it would help with her battle against weight. But nearly 3 years on, she's gone back to her pre-operation size.
I promised myself I'm not going to put the weight back on. I've tasted slimness. There's no way I'm going to put weight back on. And very slowly and then quickly it all went back on again.
Try to explain to people how having a band is not an easy option. It is actually quite hard, and you can even put weight on.
I can eat anything that disintegrates easily, such as ice cream, biscuits, chocolate, anything that will actually slip down through the band easily. As a healthy vegetarian, I should be eating lots of fruit and vegetables. I can't eat those at all.
I've got the same problem, because you try and munch an apple and it's a nightmare.
You can't, no, it's very difficult. Because they don't disintegrate to nothing, then they don't go down, they don't go through the band.
But the events surrounding Fern Britton have inspired Jenny to retighten her band.
The story of Fern Britton is why I've decided to go back. It's a very, very difficult life having a band, and Fern has done brilliantly.
Was it worth having it?
I think so, because I know I now have a tool that I can use.
The war against obesity must surely be two-pronged: prevention and treatment for those already suffering. Surgery is no magic cure, but it does save some lives.
So do you ever feel satisfied? No. And I know I will have that for the rest of my life. Isn't that a very hard feeling then?
It's very hard, but it's a small price to pay for getting my life.
Well, what I thought was very interesting out of that report was the actress Miranda Richardson, who was in the studio and said that she had a great deal of sympathy for anyone who felt that they needed to go as far as weight loss surgery.
I think I feel very sorry for the people who feel they have to have a gastric band fitted, and it's like some desperation. It sounds to me like the people who have them fitted, they have no other option because they are actually addicted to foods. And the last lady, the blonde lady who was talking, is actually eating foods which are addictive anyway, are known to be addictive, and they are the ones that she can actually eat still with a gastric band. That's a terrible thing. I shouldn't think anybody knew that.
I just wondered if that's what you thought. Are you addicted to food? Or do you see it as something else entirely? Do you see it as bad habits? Do you see it as some sort of craving for some reason? Do you see it as a food addiction? And if you do, how have you tried to overcome that addiction? Of course, society is very sympathetic to all sorts of other addicts, anyone who may be addicted to drugs or alcohol or even overspending, even gambling. There are all sorts of help available, and much of it on the NHS, and a great deal of sympathy for any other form of addict, but very little sympathy for the food addict. So if you see yourself as a food addict, what are you going to try and do about it? Have you tried anything? I'd love to know your view. Remember my address, and I really would like to hear your story. Anne@buddypower.net. Just write to me and I'd really love to hear from you.